The question, what is classic theater, has been the question we always keep coming back to.
But we don't have to change classic theater, we redefine it. There's no stopping what can happen now. What makes court theater different is it maintains a classic theater motto and mentality. Our productions now are very diverse, and we have a very diverse audience. Our approach is different. You know, we like to go from the original material, for one thing. When we do new plays or commission writers, we go all out. Plus being on the University of Chicago campus. All of those things make it unique.
Court theater is one of a very, very small number of theaters that has the luxury of doing the work that we think is the most important work to do. Every work that we decide to do on our stage or to do in the community, we do because we think it's really important that people see it. Quality work is the first thing that's built our reputation.
We have a legacy through the work of Ron J. Parson, through the work of Charlie Newell, through Nick Ruddle, right, of speaking both to our academic home and our geographic community. But I think court theater is a place where we have actors who feel like family. There are directors who come back year after year. There are playwrights who trust us with premiering their work in ways that they don't trust everybody. And I think more than anything, investing in court theater means investing in the South Side of Chicago. Everything about the people and the history and the legacy that I'm walking into matters that is unlike anywhere else I've ever been. It's beyond transformational, it's communal, right? Like, you feel it, it's in you.
Who we are is really defined by our location. The resources and the artists and the cultural generation that has been happening here on the South Side for a long time provides an opportunity for a making of an art that again is defined by who our neighbors are, what stories do we want to tell.
Never touch it.
Oh, we made this ourselves. It's
As I laughingly say to various people, court theater is part of my DNA. My husband was a trustee at the University of Chicago, so I was very aware of the fact that we had this wonderful theater and that there was not particular cooperation or involvement between these two institutions. It was my dream to have court have a real place at the university.
I wouldn't have this position if it weren't for Barbara Franke. The ability to honor Barbara Franke in this moment is a rare gift. And I feel like I speak on behalf of thousands of grad students, tens of thousands of artists, people who have had access because she was generous.
Barbara is my guardian angel. She's the one who feels the passion, feels the dream, feels the opportunity that's available to us, and is the first person to respond in a meeting to say, well, we got to figure out a way to make this happen. She's the most passionate advocate to help us move to that next place.
So much has happened to bring us to this really special relationship that we have, and it makes me extraordinarily happy.
I joined the court board in 1995 at the request of Barbara Franke.
Lorna is, in my view, the epitome of a critical thinker. And certainly as she saw the areas that she wanted to research in the strategic planning, we went through the entire theater, piece by piece, each area of the theater and where we should be going. And this is not an easy time for theaters. This kind of research in a document will stand us in great stead, and I'm enormously impressed. It was a huge undertaking. So she has been invaluable to Court Theater.
There are two attributes of Court that make it distinctive. One is the depth of the work that goes into each production. It's the dramaturgy, but it's also a kind of creative depth. And I don't think there's ever a production I've seen where the performance itself hasn't been excellent.
Lorna is so smart. There's just a lot to be said about what it means to give so many years to an organization that has changed fundamentally 10 times over. It's really powerful.
I'm very proud of Court's willingness and ability to take a look at itself, particularly in the last few years, to reach out to ally with the Southside neighborhood that surrounds it. And they've done that and are doing it, I think, in a very substantive way.
I think of the Court as a place where there's continuous dialogue going on, and I think the community is a crucial part of that dialogue.
Audrey Petty is a remarkable scholar and community activist. She does it in deep collaboration with community members. We have a lot to learn from the way in which she does programming, and Audrey has brought some of that programming to the theater, and so to be in a relationship like this is a huge benefit to the theater.
To serve the South Side, I have learned so much from Audrey about what she does, how she does it, and how can we bring that and translate that into an arts organization that clearly needs her expertise.
A daughter of brilliant daughters of South Shore. To honor her work as a part of our work is important.
I participated in the Civic Actors Studio as a member of the first cohort. And so that was in the fall of 2019 that we all got together. And I think we spent 4 days together in theater, playing, getting to know each other. I've experienced lots of different kind of workshops and learning spaces that have mattered to me, but I think there's something to the alchemy of the Court Theater coming together to read a play, but then also to begin to think of ourselves as actors, to practice together, to be vulnerable together. The deepness of the well that the Court Theater draws from to bring together people who are doing really important work all over the South Side. It's hard to measure what that means for each person who's been involved. This idea of kind of collective imagination is something that's really important to me. And so the Court Theater is not only about this play is happening at this time and you're invited to be here. The invitation is thicker than that. The invitation is broader than that. And I think the invitation is also flexible, so that participants can begin to shape the invitation and can begin to extend what happens beyond, that moment of experiencing a play.
It's my pleasure to present the Tony Award for Outstanding Regional Theater to Court Theater.
Court is a proud member of the Chicago theater community. We are a unique place, in part because we are located on the south side of Chicago, one of the most diverse and culturally vibrant places in our nation.
For me personally, the biggest value of the Tony Award will always be the staff members who had given up so much by continuing to work with this theater through, the thin of the pandemic when there wasn't much thick, that they felt so gratified and felt like their work was recognized.
Being a part of that Tony and being a part of this theater, Court will always be Tony Award winning Court Theater.
Court has a real chance of being one of the most innovative places where classic theater is reinterpreted for the current era.
There's still this untapped capacity for it to just continue to stretch and to grow and to radiate.
Someone told me, there's so many stories in our community, so maybe we will find these stories on our stage. That gives me great joy, and I'm very proud of Court Theater.
Everything that Court Theater has been up to this moment is the foundation for everything that we will become in the future, and that is really, really exciting to me.